What I have right here are probably some of the rarest pieces of Team Fortress 2 merchandise I've found so far, and possibly the rarest I'll ever find. Not exactly the most valuable, but certainly some of the rarest. And what are they? Well, they're TF2 themed holiday greeting cards and Saxon Hail postcards. What, you didn't know that there were official TF2 greeting cards? Some fan you are. But neither did I until semi-recently. I actually first came across the wiki page for them not that long ago when I was researching the unrelated TF2 trading cards. But yeah, 2 collections of holiday cards were released all the way back in winter of 2009. And just coming across this buried wiki article about long forgotten pieces of TF2 media featuring tons of artwork I've never seen before, that was already cool enough. I mean, this is so old and obscure that even the wiki is lacking high quality pictures of the cards. Yet just a few months later, these popped up on eBay. And I was like, what? Whoa, is that some paper from 2009? So, obviously I had to get them. And then these postcards were also being sold by the same seller, both as an auction. So these easily could have gone for a lot of money. In fact, just a few days earlier, I saw an auction of 5 TF2 posters go from like $25 to $120 in the last 30 seconds. But these TF2 greeting cards and postcards? No, I was the only one to place the bid. I guess other people just don't appreciate the great historical and cultural significance of Team Fortress 2 greeting cards from over a decade ago, but not that I'm complaining, right? I mean, they came from Canada, so shipping cost more than the cards themselves. So I've been showing the individual cards as I've been telling this story, and all these happen to be from Collection 2. And it is in fact a complete set of that collection. I think the one with Pyro getting coal and the Spy with Scout's mom are probably my favorite of the group. And as a whole, I think I do like Collection 2 better than Collection 1, but let's take a look at that group too. Again, these are really old, so unfortunately the quality of the pictures is not the best, so just bear with me here. Collection 1 has a reindeer sentry, some festive Girardi way before festive Girardi was actually a thing, Sniper giving Scout a sweater, Spy disguised as a present, a sticky bomb ornament, Medic gifting Heavy a giant sandwich, Soldier with an igloo, Pyro with a snowman, Sniper inside a snowman, and Soldier with a snowman. And it's just a lot of really fun artwork that you never get to see. And if you actually cared that they're supposed to be greeting cards, well, the other side is just blank, so you gotta write that out yourself. But don't worry, I have no intentions of using them for their intended purpose. Okay, alright. I'm sure that's one of the reasons why these are so rare. They're supposed to be written in and sent to people, and I'm sure a lot of people who bought them did just that, and the recipients eventually threw them away. It's what you do. But to that one random hoarder in Canada who didn't do that, good job. I salute you. I also salute you for saving these Saxon Hail postcards and even keeping them in their original envelope. How cool is that? So there are 6 different Saxon Hail comic postcards. These are not based on any real comics, and it's just the cover. These are kind of meant to be world building and expanding the lore behind Saxon Hail. And I'm not entirely sure when these postcards were first sold, but my guess would be around 2010. That's when Saxon as a character became a lot more prominent. And alright, let's take a look at these. First we have Saxon Hail's Mildly Thrilling Tales number 4. Modest suspense for the faint of heart. A puck is stolen, then retrieved. With the most pulse-evening, uninspiring ending you'll ever read. And what's also really cool about these postcards is that they even have a little in-universe description of each of the comics. Like for this one, it's... As the youth movement of the 1960s escalated, manufacturers produced fewer and fewer products for the elderly. By 1963, only 4 items remained. Hats, meat, caskets, and Saxon Hail's Mildly Thrilling Tales. Naked from the forehead down, lying in their coffins gumming Salisbury steak, an entire generation of despondent, forgotten consumers was left with just one thing in which to spend their government checks. Hail's tepid, senior-friendly tales of modest suspense. Saxon Hail visits his mother monthly, and soothing stories of familiar things soon followed. Hail quickly became the wealthiest man in the Western Hemisphere. And also on the back, you have a little message to the postman. By God, you will guard this message with your life and see it safely to... blank. And show that stamp who's boss. Slap it here. Next up, we have Saxon Hail's Jungle Brawl number 44. An ape will die on every page. Saxon Hail's Jungle Brawl debuted in the US in 1962, riding a wave of anti-guerrilla sentiment following Russia's successful launch of its first monkey, Vladimir Bananas, into space. America's rage was not isolated to communist primates. That same year, Monkey Not Poopy Joe cruelly dashed the US's hopes of reaching the stars when its shuttle detonated on takeoff. Brawl was notorious for inflaming human gorilla tensions during its 10-year run, most famously with issue number 50, which was printed in gorilla's blood. Issue number 50's print run of 17 million copies left only 5 gorillas on the planet. Saxon Hale's Barbershop Action number 12. Not for sale outside of barbershops in the US. Saxon Hale's Barbershop Action capitalized on the brief haircut fad of the early 60s. Its breakaway success would lead to the ancillary tales, Saxon Hale's Barbershop Romance, and haircut horrors starring Saxon Hale's ghost. By issue number 40, however, the pea stick movement had gripped America in its filthy, tangled mane, and haircut fiction saw a steep decline. This would be the start of a lifelong feud between Hale and hippies, which would culminate in his firebombing of Woodstock from a helicopter. Next up is Saxon Hale's Thrilling Tales number 55. You will believe a shark can cry. Saxon Hale's Thrilling Tales first arrived on newsstands in 1961 as a bold Manco initiative to sidestep an increase on postage costs for their weapon catalogs. The first 64-page issue contained 4 pages of thrilling tales and 60 pages of ads for exciting new Manco products. But Thrilling's editors quickly discovered that showing Manco founders Saxon Hale using their product in their story tripled its sales. Ads were cut to 32 pages to accommodate longer, product placement-based stories. Then we have Girls' Adventure, starring Saxon Hale. Scoutmaster Hale gives his Saxonettes a fire safety tip. Grizzly bears burn. Boys' Adventure with Saxon Hale came under fire from the Senate Subcommittee on Juvenile Delinquency in 1968 for teaching boys aged 6 to 16, among other things, moral turpitude, arson, vandalism, hippie assault, tax fraud, at-home laryngectomies, car theft, guerrilla slaughter, and the Heimlich maneuver, which had just been invented and was still considered controversial. Pressured by the Senate, Manco changed the name to Girls' Adventures with Saxon Hale, as it was commonly thought at the time that girls couldn't do anything, so the lessons taught to them would be harmless. And for whatever reason, this set included 2 Girls' Adventures instead of Saxon Hale's Maelstrom number 1, which should have been the 6th. So unfortunately I don't have that one, but here's the description anyway. Saxon Hale's Maelstrom had its first and only issue published in March 1964 to help explain the new federal recall of all 36 million Gold Coast Tweed personal apple cores due to their tendency to not only core apples, but fingers, lamps, and small furry animals. When the government demanded the comic be issued for free, Manco responded by raising its usual price from 12 cents an issue to 20, reasoning that if anyone was going to get something for free, they were going to have to pay for it. So those are all of the Saxon Hale postcards. I do wish I could have gotten the Maelstrom one too, but it's whatever. It makes me wonder if that was an error on Valve's side when they originally shipped it to the guy in Canada, or maybe the guy in Canada just had 2 sets of postcards and maybe used some of them. We'll probably never know. And it is a little bit unfortunate that I'll probably never have a full set of 6, but what can you do? I'm happy with what I got. But they do have a lot of good info for the Saxon Hale history video, so expect to hear some of that repeated when that does eventually come out, and it will come out relatively soon. But for now, I'm actually working on a themed month for the next few weeks, of videos kinda like this. Because for the past year or so, collecting TF2 merchandise has become a little bit of an obsession of mine, and I've got a lot of cool things that I think could make for some fun videos. So for the rest of this month, and maybe a little bit into next month, we'll be doing TF2 merch month. More videos coming soon, roughly every week. Or if you're in the future, I guess you could just check out the merchandise playlist I made. It also includes the old videos. Alright, okay, I gotta go work on the rest of those videos, but before I go, a special thanks to my patrons like Varric, Captain Forex, Egox, Dex, Zero Attention, Kyber96, and probably Vinegar. Okay, alright, peace out.